Hi, I'm Cory Weatherton, Director of Product Development here at Entegra Coach. And folks, today we're going to look at the 2026 Entegra Coach Qwest SE, and the floor plan is the 24R. So here at Entegra Coach, we build a couple models on this Mercedes-Benz chassis. We have different trim levels, I like to call them. So your Qwest SE, I would say, is more of your base trim level. There's still a lot of amenities inside of this coach, but then your regular Qwest is the fully decked out unit that we are building on the Mercedes-Benz chassis. If you've not seen that, definitely watch this walkthrough video and then go to our Qwest page, our regular Qwest page, and you'll be able to watch that video to see some of the differences to help you determine, is the Qwest SE the right unit for you, or even is the Entegra Coach Qwest the right unit for you? So I want to talk about today what makes the Entegra Coach Qwest SE the Entegra Coach Qwest SE. First of all, it's built on the Mercedes-Benz 3500 chassis. So it has a 9-speed transmission. It is that 2-liter diesel engine. What's great about this chassis is it's very fuel efficient compared to your Econoline or your E350 or E450 chassis that we also build on. So very fuel efficient chassis. You will notice that this does have full body paint. Just to give you a heads up, that full body paint is optioned, it's not standard. So some of the things you'll be seeing on this coach are optioned, and most of them are standard. Here at Entegra Coach, we have very few options. Reason being is because it really helps your resale value. The fewer options you have, the better you retain your resale value, because when it comes time to sell one of these off or trade it in, your local dealer is going to look at what is the base cost and then base your trade off of the base cost. Generally, they don't care how it was optioned, but with Entegra Coach, we give you pretty much everything standard so that we can help you retain that resale value. So Mercedes-Benz chassis, full body paint, looks absolutely stunning. We have multiple paints if you want a full body paint. The design is the same, but the colors are different. So just wanted to prep you on that. So let's talk about the coach. What makes this the Qwest SE? First of all, the one-piece seamless fiberglass front cap. That is the hallmark on every Entegra coach. At this price point, you will find numerous coaches, numerous manufacturers that say they have a one-piece fiberglass front cap. But in reality, it only comes about a fourth of the way back, covers the front end. Aesthetically, it looks good, and then wraps up to the top. The problem is with that style cap is this seam that we have covered, where your bunk platform meets your sidewall, is the #1 leak spot on a Class C. The whole industry knows that. However, at Entegra Coach, we are one of the only ones, we are really the only one that does it from an Odyssey SE, which is a base trim level, all the way up to our Centurion, which is a high-end diesel that's on the Cascadia chassis. So we're doing that to protect your investment. We want that seam covered because the whole industry knows in the future that will leak. We've just protected your investment, folks. It's the right thing to do. Why doesn't everybody do it? Because fiberglass front caps, full transparency, they're super expensive. On this coach, it is the single most expensive thing we put on this coach. So costs us a lot of money, but we do it because it's the right thing to do. So one-piece seamless fiberglass front cap is a big deal to you as the end user. As we come back a little bit, you will notice that we do have the rain gutters, the rain downspouts, to be able to keep runoff off of this beautiful full body paint. That comes on our non-full body paint as well. So it's not just if you get paint, you get those, but it comes on non-full body paint as well. As we come back, you will see the Entegra exclusive 2+3 warranty. The 2-year limited warranty. What is that? It's a fair question. It's a fair question to ask because everybody else in the industry just simply has a 1-year warranty. Folks, this 2-year warranty covers anything we build or put into this coach. Why would we do 2 years at Entegra Coach when we really could get away with a 1-year warranty? I think there's 3 reasons. The first reason is it gives you as the end user, you as the owner, really a peace of mind that we stand behind your investment. We believe that we build a very quality coach. It's superior to those other that are in the marketplace. And so it gives you a peace of mind. Our build standards are higher. How are they higher? Well, the second reason this 2-year warranty helps us is it really helps us vet out what components we're using inside of this coach. Because every manufacturer in the RV world, they force suppliers to sign a sales and service agreement to sell to them. And so as a result, if I have a 1-year warranty, I only need that supplier to warranty their components for 1 year. And so I can buy more stuff from them. I can buy lesser quality stuff from them if I worked for brand X. But here at Entegra Coach with that 2-year warranty, we force our suppliers to sign a 2-year agreement. If they won't, we won't use them. Why wouldn't somebody sign a 2-year agreement, but they sign a 1-year agreement? Honestly, it's probably because the products they're selling with a 1-year warranty is inferior to a 2-year warranty. So it really helps our purchasing team vet out what components we will and will not use. The third reason this is a big deal is because every other manufacturer only has 1 year of warranty data. Here at Entegra Coach, we have 2 years. I have weekly meetings with engineering, purchasing, production, and our warranty service team, and we go through our warranty claims. We want to track what is doing well with inside of this product and what is not. It allows us within that second year to track how good of a product or component that we bought from a supplier is. So it allows us to be fluid and flexible and to make changes and to see what are those components that will last a long time. And so that 2-year warranty provides those 3 things, and I think it's really valuable to you as the end owner and to us as a manufacturer. 3-year structural, what is that? What does structural mean? Structural is your sidewalls, your rear wall, your roof, your floor, and your slide rooms. So structurally, how do we build these things? So they're kind of like a big sandwich. A big sandwich has just been super glued together. So we have our exterior skin of fiberglass, that's laid down, the interior is perforated. We spread an adhesive over it that's water activated. We then lay down our welded tubular aluminum studs. In the voids, we put beadboard insulation. And then on the final thing we lay down is our interior wallboard, which has been perforated as well. And then we send that into a vacuum press, so kind of like a giant food saver, and it sucks all the air out of a bag, and we effectively get 144 tons of pressure, 144 tons of pressure per square inch. That is a lot of pressure. And after 16 to 18 minutes, depending on what component we're laminating, it then comes out of that giant vacuum bag. Once it comes out of the vacuum bag, what we'll do is we'll take every window cutout and we will do a peel test or a delamination test. As we pull and separate the components of that sandwich apart, we want to see things shred. We want to see our exterior skin shred. We want to see our interior skin shred. We know if it shreds, we've had a solid lamination. If it were to be a clean separation, that means it's a poor lamination. The adhesive didn't work and this whole wall would be scrapped. But the great thing about Entegra Coach is we have our own lamination facility. It's on campus here, and it is temperature controlled year-round and humidity controlled year-round. Remember, that adhesive is moisture activated. So rather than having to determine how much moisture we need to add when the relative humidity is 5% or 95%, we just keep the relative humidity the same. Temperature controlled as well. So we are getting the exact same lamination process year-round. And so us having to scrap walls, really it's non-existent. And I'm thankful for that because these are giant things for the landfill, and we have that lamination process just dialed into a T. So that is the structural. If something happens with the sandwich, it's a 3-year warranty. You may see other manufacturers on a coach like this that have a giant 6 on the window, a giant 12 on the window, and really that is just a structural warranty. Their limited warranty is a 1-year limited warranty. So don't be deceived by giant numbers. Really it's just structural. And this day and age, most folks, even if they farm out their lamination to a third party, most folks have that lamination process down. So don't be deceived by the giant number. That 2-year for us is a big deal when everybody else is a 1 year. We do have side view cameras on this coach as well as a rear backup camera. These are frameless windows. The frameless windows are incredible because these tinted glass windows block the gaskets. They block the seals around the window. So with time, if you were to set that seal out in full sunlight, it would deteriorate, it would crack, it would fall apart. And some manufacturers at this price point are using framed windows. So you'll see a rubber trim around it, hard plastic with rubber. That will deteriorate, and that is a future leak spot. So as a result, we're giving you frameless windows in that, and that's a huge deal to you. You'll see the Canadian flag there. These aren't built in Canada. We are in Elkhart County in northern Indiana. That just simply means this is a unit that we built to Canadian standards, and a dealer who bought this is Canadian. So I just wanted to clarify, because sometimes folks will see that and think, oh, that's built in Canada. I thought this was US made. It is US made. but we have to build to different standards going into Canada. You will notice almost a full-length awning here. As it rolls out, you do have your LED lighting at the very end. What's on top of this coach? Fair question. We're not going to climb up there, but in this walk around, I want to cover it. On top of this coach, you will find a 13,500 BTU air conditioner. You will find exhaust fan. You'll find a couple skylights, and then you'll also find 200 watts of solar with a dual controller. So that dual controller sends power to your chassis battery and your house batteries to keep those topped off. And then you'll also find an antenna for your local over-the-air channels. So that's on the roof of this unit. As we continue back, our propane is behind this door. I won't open it, it's just a propane tank. I think we've all seen propane tanks. Also notice we have an LP Quick Connect. On all of our coaches on the exterior camp side, we have an LP Quick Connect. So if you want to hook up a George Foreman or a griddle or something and be able to have your smell on the outside. Maybe you're making bacon in the morning, you don't want the inside to smell like bacon, or fish at night. You can cook outside underneath the awning, and that is provided for you. As we come back, you will notice the full body paint continues. This does have a 30,000 BTU furnace in it. So this size of a coach, honestly, 30,000 BTU is overkill. But at the same time, we know a lot of you will use these as kind of traveling from point A to point B. I know a lot of Canadians, just looking at that Canadian flag reminded me of it when I was a rep and I dealt with Canada. Wintertime, they will use these as transport down to Florida. They're going to use them as sleeping. They'll put heat in it. This is not a Four Seasons coach, so they're not going to be using the water in the winter. But that 30,000 BTU helps keep this thing warm. As we come back, we do see a nice size storage compartment there. Coming back one more, another, and then above it, this does have a 6-gallon gas electric hot water heater. What's great about that gas electric hot water heater is I can run it off of propane. So when I say gas, I mean propane. Or I can run it off of electricity and get 6 gallons of hot water in an hour. Or it has a rapid recovery mode to where I can use both the electric and the propane, and it's rapid recovery, and it'll replenish itself about 3 times in an hour, giving you about 18 gallons of hot water in an hour. And folks, you and I both know if you're in a camping scenario, that is a lot of water to be using in a motorhome in 1 hour. So all that to say, this is a tried and true technology. It's been around for a long time, super reliable, and is able to give you an excessive amount of hot water when you need it. So this has been a look at the camp side of the coach. Let's check out the back. Checking out the back end of this Qwest SE, absolutely beautiful with full body paint. Some of the things I want to point out on this, we do have the third brake light overhead. If you are towing something wider, lightweight, I say lightweight because remember this is a Mercedes-Benz chassis. These guys aren't known for towing a lot of poundage. So if you want to know how much you can tow, take your gross combined weight rating, your gross vehicle weight rating, and subtract that, and then you'll get your tow capacity. Going from memory, folks, this information is a year old, and the numbers haven't changed, but I'm getting older. So I believe you're around 3,000 pounds, just a little bit north. Maybe I think you're at 3,120 pounds tow capacity, but like I said, always do your own math. So even though we put a 5,000 pound receiver on there, we do not ever state it tows 5,000 pounds. Other manufacturers will broadcast that they put that on there and say that's your tow capacity. That is not true. Always do your math. And like I said, I think we're at 3,120 pounds, but do your math. Back of the coach, your full body paint extends around. As I already mentioned, the third brake light. You have your rear backup camera. This coach does have side cameras as well. And then your tubular steel bumper on the rear. Folks, these are great because nobody ever wants to back into anything. I know you don't want to, and when I use these, at work we have a demo fleet. I don't want to back into anything, but the nice thing is that with this steel bumper, if I gently bump something, I'm not going to be ruining fiberglass. So that is a great asset. Also in the end, it is hollow, a cap comes out, and if you want to store fishing poles in there or longer items, you definitely can. And then obviously you've got your side brake lights, backup camera, and your license plate holder. So it's been a look at the back of this Entegra coach, Qwest SE. Always note, I always say this at some point in the video, that just because you're seeing something on this coach doesn't mean it's true for every floor plan. This is the 24R. It does not mean that the 24L has the exact same window placement, baggage compartments, etc. So always note that they do vary by floor plan. Let's check out off campside. Alrighty, last side of the exterior before we hit the beautiful interior. As I mentioned, 24R Qwest SE. This is how this side is laid out. 30 amp power cord in the rear that is detachable. A couple years ago, we changed all of our 50 amp coaches to detachable. And this year, we've changed all of our 30 amp as well. You may ask the question why. If you're not an avid camper, typically in the past, we would hardwire this cord into the coach itself. And this is a thicker cord, much thicker than an extension cord. If you get a 50 amp cord, it's about twice as thick as that. Folks, when it's attached to the coach, hardwired in, it is like wrestling a snake. It is so hard to get it to coil up. It's a finger snagger in that baggage compartment. So we've changed them all to detachable, making it easier to coil up and then store away. So 30 amp coach, 30 amp cord. Nice thing about this plug-in is that when it glows green, you actually know you have power going to your coach. We'll continue back. Our wet bay area, you can see very conveniently laid out. We have an exterior shower. You can feed your water hose from the spigot up through this. You can close that. And then also you're going to see your valves in there to be able to dump your tanks. It's an on-demand water pump. You can turn it on out here or you can turn it on inside of the coach. Very easy to winterize, very easy to access with a little bit of storage underneath for your white garden hose to be able to hook up at the campgrounds. And then also if you have a small tote that your stinky slinky's in, you can store that in there as well. Continuing back, this looks like a baggage compartment, however it's not. This is access for your dealer or for us as a manufacturer or you if you're super handy. To be able to access the motor of the Murphy bed on this floor plan. It's a very reliable system. We use it across our campus in multiple applications. This happens to be a Murphy bed. We use the same system as a drop-down bunk in our gas Class A's. Very reliable, but we do have that there in case something does arise. Coming back, we have a nice size storage compartment here. Very large, able to put inside of that camp chairs. You can fit numerous camp chairs in there, or even any of your other storage items. Overhead, you will notice, I don't want to forget these, we do have slide toppers on this Qwest SE on all of our floor plans. Where there is a slide, you will have slide toppers. And then this compartment is for your generator. It's a RVMP 4000E, and when it runs off of propane, it is derated to about 3,600 watts or so. So I mentioned on the back side, we do have our side cameras. Those are located on this side of the body, both sides of the body. When I turn my turn signal on, it will illuminate what's in this lane to help eliminate that blind spot. So, folks, I believe this has been a pretty complete walk around to the outside of this coach. Let's check out the inside. Folks, we're inside this 24R Entegra Coach Qwest SE. And I already mentioned it's a Murphy bed. And if you're a Murphy bed hater, we've got other floor plans. If you're a Murphy bed lover, this happens to be a great Murphy bed floor plan. But I want to talk about some of the things we're seeing on the inside, some of the features, and then also a disclaimer on this front storage area behind me. So I always start off in the cab area. Typically, you're going to find a front overhead bunk that's rated at 750 pounds. A lot of folks love that for the versatility of potentially bringing the grandkids along, or maybe they're having guests sleep over. They're going to be able to sleep up here. It's very large, almost double-sized bed. Like I said, rated at 750 pounds. Behind us, this has been optioned with a front storage area. And we do offer that option, and I'll be fully transparent with you. In the States, this doesn't get optioned very much. However, in Canada, a lot of times it's a forced option. Canada figures the cargo carrying capacity differently than what the United States does. In the United States, we only have to figure cargo carrying capacity based upon full propane, full fuel, and then 2 humans up front. In Canada, we have to do it differently. We have to do it by the number of sleeping positions. So with that, in Canada, because this Mercedes-Benz frequently does not have the amount of cargo carrying capacity that a E450 does, we have to eliminate these 2 sleeping positions in order to ship it into Canada on certain floor plans. So if you're a Canadian and you go to our website, you will find that certain floor plans, it'll ask your region and it will dictate this is what the front end looks like. If you're from Indiana, where I'm from, you will see that this is an option, whereas your front overhead bunk is the standard. So wanted to point that out. If you don't think you're ever going to use this for sleeping position, this does provide a lot of nice extra storage for you. So it is a nice feature. Behind me is the Mercedes-Benz chassis. Everything up front is from Mercedes-Benz except the rear view mirror. The rear view mirror we add, and that it's a digital one, so it will display both your side cameras and your rear camera. These are Mercedes-Benz seats, and like I said, the rest of everything up there is as well. Inside of this coach, we do have our premium JBL audio. You'll notice 2 overhead speakers. We have the JBL Aura Cube here. This is an incredible system. It gives you high-end audio. So if you're watching television, you're going to be able to hear it clearly. Maybe your partner is hard of hearing, and while you're out at the campsite, they can crank that thing up so they can hear it better with no distortion. Or even you can stream your favorite music app from your phone through the Bluetooth on that. What we have found is just a lot of our end users with Entegra Coach really like name brand stuff, because generally the name brand is going to be better than some off brand. And so that's where we're utilizing that. You'll notice that the kitchen, we'll turn around here in a second, you'll be able to see the full length of the kitchen. We do have a countertop extension over here to extend the countertop length. This countertop is already, just looking at it, it's ballpark 6 feet or longer. So there's a lot of countertop space, usable space, but you'll see the extension there as well. This coach has been optioned with 4-point hydraulic leveling jacks. So on the Qwest SE, those are not standard. When you bump up to the Qwest, that higher trim level, it does become standard at that point. Coming over here to the dinette, you'll notice that we are using a legless dinette and then also a cross member void dinette. What does that matter to you? I have longer legs. I happen to be a taller individual. The individual filming is a taller individual. We could both slide into this dinette and not have a knee knocker. A lot of times you're going to find a brand of dinette, not going to reference it. It has a lever here, and then you push it down, you lift it back up. That has a diagonal cross member that is a knee knocker. And it does. And then on this unit as well, we don't have a vertical post holding this up. Rather, it's hinged in the back. There's a gas strut in the back. There's a bracket there. I simply lift up on it. It slides down, goes into a sleeping position, and then easy up as well. It just latches into place. Nice thing about this is it's more sturdy than that other brand that has the lever here. I can put a Thanksgiving turkey on here and not have to worry about it dropping down 1 or 2 inches. That's kind of what that brand is notorious for, is just kind of a lack of stability, but it's very solid. I wouldn't sit on this. We don't weight rate it. Just use common sense that this is for food. We do have seat belts in every seating position up front in this floor plan. So this coach seat belts 2, 4, 6 individuals with forward-facing child tethers. So there's 2 child tethers there. In the back, this floor plan does have a sofa. We do not seat belt back there. This is just a 6-person coach. Other units where we may option theater seats up here, or potentially if the theater seat's in the back, you will have a seat belt in every seating position. This 24R is different though. Overhead, you will notice that we do have hardwood doors. We do have a full pass-through here as well to be able to store longer items. And then also we have a beautiful soft touch ceiling. The soft touch ceiling is going to dampen my voice when I'm in here, so it doesn't sound like I'm in a tin can, and then also provide a little bit of thermal insulation through the roof. So this has been a look at the front of the coach. Let's check out the back. All right, facing the back of the coach, as I mentioned, check out this long countertop. You know, in these Mercedes-Benz motorhomes, frequently a big complaint is it's just so small, and oftentimes it's the countertop that's lacking space. But as I mentioned, this has to be over 6 foot long, plus about a ballpark 14, 16 inch extension there. There's a lot of work area here. Down below, a beautiful bank of drawers, storage below your kitchen sink. And then we have this 17-inch round single basin sink. So definitely big enough for you to be able to put a stock pot in there to fill up with water to bring over to your cooktop. This is a 2-burner propane cooktop. And so just a lot of workspace if you're into the culinary arts. Coming down, we have a residential size convection microwave. So you'll notice there's no oven below. The oven below allows us to put drawers down there. And if you're used to having an oven in an RV, you know that that oftentimes becomes a storage place for potentially cookie sheets or pots and pans. We would rather give you drawers and give you this convection microwave oven. I think this convection microwave oven really shines compared to a traditional RV oven. First of all, you can put larger items in here. You can put a loaf of bread in there, and as it rises and bakes, you don't have to worry about it touching the top of your oven. You can make casseroles in here. It's very large. You could put a taller Pyrex in there as well if you're going to be baking a deeper dish casserole. So a lot of room in there. That's a great benefit. I get storage down below. Another benefit is generally these motorhomes are used at RV parks, and so if I'm plugged into the post, this power has already been paid for versus me having to burn propane that's not a renewable resource when it's on a motorhome. What do I mean by that? If you own a travel trailer, you just take off that 20-pound bottle, you put a new one on. This is fixed to the body, so if you run out of propane, you're going to have to close up shop, close up motorhome, and go get the propane filled. So I love this because it does not burn propane, rather it uses electricity that you've paid for. If you're not plugged in at the park, you can use your generator to actually power this to bake your bread in or your cookies. Another great thing is that it's vented outside. An oven, as soon as you turn that on, it feels like you turned on a furnace in the summertime. This is ventilated outside, and so as a result, you're not going to have the heat transfer into the coach. So a great system there. I already referenced the 2-burner propane cooktop. We have a 10 cubic foot 12-volt refrigerator inside of this coach. It is very large. In the past, we were using an 8. About a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we changed to this 10 cubic foot. Nice thing about this freezer is if you don't know how long you can keep fish in your freezer, 1 to 2 months. If you don't know how long you can keep a steak in there, folks, it's only 6 to 12 months. That's their guidelines. You use your own guidelines. But it's a great refrigerator, cools down really quickly. Love using it. Overhead, we have an exhaust vent. Be able to pump that heat out of this if you are using your cooktop, or even just in the evening to prevent a lot of moisture buildup inside of the coach, to be able to pump it out that way. We have a nice sized pantry back here. You can put a lot of boxes of cereal back here, or a lot of cans of beans. So there's a lot of room back here. And then behind me is up front, as I mentioned, we do have a Murphy bed. A Murphy bed I know is polarizing, but at the same time, there are folks who love it. We have storage down below the sofa. How in the world do we function the Murphy bed? Super simple. We just take off these back cushions, and as we take the back cushions off, I turn this key to the unlock position, and at that point, I just push the down button, and then it comes down. So as it's down, I can still fully walk through. Not going to put it all the way down, don't want to take all that time, but I can fully walk through this unit and get back to the bathroom if I'm sleeping on that side of the bed. Also, we have 120 volt outlets on both sides of the bed as well. Now, one of the great things about this floor plan is the bathroom. You know, oftentimes a bathroom could be a side corner bathroom, it could be up in the middle. This floor plan is great, in my opinion, because it's back in the rear of the coach. We're not in the bathroom often, and so it's in the back of the coach, it's out of the way. Super nice linen storage off to the left. Right behind me, a nice deep medicine cabinet with 3 shelves in it, and then storage down below the lav. But just a great setup. And we also have this pocket door as a divider, and so very compact. This guy, bumper to bumper, is right at about 25 feet long. Very nimble, 96 inches wide, so you'll be able to get it into some tighter spaces. Again, my name's Cory Weatherton. I'm Director of Product Development here at Entegra Coach. And folks, today we walk through the 24R Entegra Coach Qwest SE. I want to encourage you, if you fell in love with this floor plan, get down to your local dealer. If you fell in love with the model itself, go down to your local dealership and check it out. This chassis, if you're a taller individual like myself, is a dream to drive. There's so much legroom in this chassis. There's a lot of headroom as well, so it doesn't feel like you're down in a little cave, if you will. Great chassis to drive, great motorhome that we build. If you don't know who your local dealer is, on Entegra Coach's website, we have a dealer locator. You'll just plug in your state or provincial code, and then you'll choose that you're looking for the Qwest SE. It'll tell you who your closest dealer is. If by chance you stump your local dealer, or maybe have more technical questions, always feel free to call us here at the factory. A kind receptionist will answer. Let them know what state or province you're from, and that you're interested in talking to somebody about the Qwest SE. They will direct you to a regional sales manager. That regional sales manager is responsible for your area of the world that you live in. They will answer any question you have. If by chance you stump them, they'll say, I don't know that answer. Let me check with engineering, or let me check with production, and I will get back with you with an answer. Key thing to note is, folks, there is one of me and many of you. And at times I'll get a voicemail coming to my office phone. And honestly, I'll just be fully transparent. I don't respond to those. Like I said, there's just one of me and many of you. We employ numerous regional sales managers, and I will always forward that voicemail to them so that they can answer, because they're responsible for your area of the world. They do have direct access to me, but unfortunately, like I said, just one of me, a lot of you. So thanks for watching this video. I know you've invested time in it. If by chance you wonder if what's the difference between a Qwest SE and a regular Qwest, go to our website and check out that video as well. You will see differences. This is a great motorhome. The other one's a great motorhome, but the question is which one's right for you. Cory Weatherton, Director of Product Development here at Entegra Coach. Get out camping and enjoy a motorhome from Entegra Coach.